Alright, hello everyone. As you guys guessed from the title, this is in my opinion the best premium tank out there. It is definitely worth getting if it comes into the store. It's simply one of the best heavy tanks and overall the best premium in the whole game, especially if you want to play tier 10. Of course, the grind credits for fun, etc, etc. There may be other candidates at tier 8, but since I play tier 10, this for me is literally the only premium tank you will ever need. This tank is a combination of everything that is great about German heavy tanks, and out of all the super heavies, this is the best one. Even though it doesn't have the biggest alpha, even though it's not the fastest, this one is the thickest in terms of armor. And this actually is really scary when a strong opponent comes up against you in this thing. Firstly, because when it's side scraping, it's almost impossible to penetrate this thing unless you're lucky. And when you're close to this tank, so in a face hug, again, it's almost impossible to penetrate the VK90 in the face unless you get lucky and the enemy isn't really wiggling the turret to hide those weak spots on the cheeks. Apart from that, this tank almost has no weak points. It has a huge lower plate, but if you wiggle, of course the enemy can make a mistake and the turret is rock solid. The hatch on top is again another weak point, but you also have to hit it, especially on a phone. That's going to be quite hard. Overall, this tank is insane in terms of armor compared to the mouse, because the mouse is literally a walking, HP pool. It has almost no armor, especially if you turn on gold. This thing is still going to be really red, even if you have gold. And the tiny parts on the cheeks aren't really going to, be penned very easily, even with gold. You also have to hit the cupola and everything. This thing is a monster, even against gold, and it will stop almost any gold shells coming its way. Unlike the mouse, the E100 and the VK72 are all garbage in terms of armor if you're comparing them to the VK90. This thing is the most armored tank in the whole game, at least in terms of super heavies after the E3. I think nothing apart from the E3 beats this thing, and it's one of the best. And if you're a newer player, this thing is going to be perfect for you because it doesn't really need that much to play. You just push forward, you see an enemy, you push forward, and it's an ideal tank for a newer player. Now, the gun isn't the best, it's actually pretty good, it has decent alpha, but the penetration is superb at 275, and the accuracy buff is going to be really good for newer players. I mean, not newer players, but for more experienced players. They're going to be hitting those shots initially, and it's just amazing. Of course, in terms of mobility, it's not the best. It needs to compensate somehow, but again, it's not sluggish. It gets its top speed quite quickly. And overall, this thing is an insane combination. It gives you credits. It's so fun blocking all those shells, side scraping with it, smashing people left and right. This thing is just pure fun, and I recommend people get this because this is the only premium tank you're ever going to need. So maybe my opinion is wrong. I would like to hear what you guys have to say on this in the comment section below. But with that, happy is out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.